But hey, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever beautiful time zone you're watching the neighborhood in. Good day, neighbors, and thanks for joining me. Hey, y'all. Y'all, my sweet tea, what are you doing here? I thought you only did some short videos. Hey, y'all, I'm back. But let me first of all say, welcome to our new subscribers. I see that we did pick up a few more new subscribers, so thank you all. Thank you. And welcome to my returning subscribers. Welcome back to the neighborhood. Y'all, I've decided, y'all, let me just say first of all, I appreciate each and every one of you all for sticking in here with me on this journey, the thing that we call life. Y'all know we go through our ups, we go through our downs, we go through our trials, and we go through our situations, honey. But at the end of the day, God still got us. We're still here. We're still blessed. A lot of us is going through things in our lives and situations in our lives that we have no control over. Some things we did have control over, but we lost control over due to certain situations. And now we're all out here trying to make a way out of no way. Let's just be honest. Everything is high. Everything is expensive. Food, groceries, this and that. We're all going through things in life. We all have a story. And I'm on here to share my knowledge, my education, and also my creative ideas in the finance industry, especially wealth management, okay? I'm on here because, you know, looking at the Michael Jackson movie, one thing stood out to me. A lot of things stood out to me, but one thing in particular stood out to me. It says you're going to either be a winner or you're going to be a loser. Michael kept saying he was a winner. A lot of us feeling like we're lost control of our lives because we no longer working, we no longer have a job, we're unemployed, such as myself, but we still have knowledge. And with knowledge come power. And with my power, I'm going to educate you all in the wealth management, how to protect your assets and your investments, how to make better decisions when it comes to setting up beneficiaries and removing beneficiaries and setting up trust accounts, AAA accounts, retirement accounts, 401k, all of that. Because I'm knowledgeable in that. Am I able to speak on that? Yes. Am I qualified to speak on that? Hell to the yeah, I am. Okay? So I'm going to give you a lot of free advice over the next few segments here that we're going to do these videos on. A reason why I'm doing this is because something came across my TV. I was at my point where I was like, what am I going to do? You know, we all deciding what we're going to do with our lives. We're in a situation now that we're trying to figure things out, like what we're going to do. We don't have a job anymore. We've been taken away. Our job been taken away. But our dignity and our pride has not been taken away. I'm going to share a lot of knowledge with you all. I'm going to share something at the end of this video. So I want you all to stick around on something I want you all to do tomorrow morning. Don't put it off for the next day. Don't put it off for the next hour. I want you all to do this on Monday morning. Do a favor for me. Do this. And I'm going to tell you what I need you all to do for me tomorrow morning. Today is Sunday, but the video will come out tomorrow. So when you see the video, just do this immediately, okay? Don't wait. Do it, because you're not promised tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do to protect your assets, okay? First of all, I started this segment because, I mean, you look at me and people never judge a book by its cover. I'm well educated. I'm well educated within the finance field. I've been in the finance field for over 20 years, 2 decades. And I also been in wealth management for over 3 years. But I know the ins and outs of all the financial things. I can speak on this. I'm not obligated to any company. I don't have a liability agreement with them saying that I can't speak on this and speak on that because I'm employed by this company. I was working for Morgan Stanley for 3 years. Morgan Stanley is a very high-tech wealth management, very well-known wealth management company. We all know that. Working for Morgan Stanley, you're working for one of the top industries when it comes to wealth management. I was there for 3 years, and I did. When they laid me off, I thanked them for everything they done for me. I have learned a lot of knowledge from them. I've taken a lot of tests that I test out on, and I'm well educated to speak on this topic. And the reason I'm going to speak on this and what we're going to do, we're going to go over all the accounts within the wealth management portfolio. We're going to go over all those. But we're not going to go over all those today. But I'm going to give you a name of the ones that we're going to go over. And what we're going to go over today is going to be other trust accounts. There's a few trust accounts within their portfolio, and you have to know how to set up all these accounts. They have your AAA accounts. They have your trust accounts. They have your custodian accounts. They have your guardianship accounts. They have your 401k accounts. They have your retirement accounts, RIAs, SEP accounts. They have just so many accounts. They do not offer some mortgage wealth management companies. They do offer health savings accounts, Morgan Stanley does not offer health savings account. So if you're ever looking for that, I don't know if they're offering it now, but when I left there in September, they was not offering that health savings account. That is one of those accounts that's offered under the wealth management portfolio. They have those UT accounts out falling under special education accounts. They also, and I have my notes here, but I don't want to forget anything here. So they also have we're going to be going over these accounts here. They also have your Roth IRA accounts. They have your rollovers IRA. They have the SEP IRA, the Simple IRA, the 401k the 401k, the 403b, the 457b. They have your inherited IRA accounts, and those accounts are so important that you all set those up correctly. They also offer the education and minors and special purposes account, like special needs. They have your 529 college savings plans accounts, your covert ESA accounts. They have your UGMA, UTMA custodian accounts. They have your ABLE accounts and health and savings. I think Morgan Stanley does not offer the ABLE nor the health and savings accounts. So a lot of other broker dealers do offer that. So you have to look into that as well. Do your homework before you start opening up certain accounts with financial advisors. So we're going to talk about your accounts. We're going to talk about today. They also have the individual accounts. They also have the joint tenants with right to survivorship, tenants in common, TLC, the tenants vitality, TBE, transfer and deaths, payable by death, and all these accounts are just different accounts, okay? So what I'm going to do, and what I'm going to talk about first of all in our first segment is we're going to talk about these trust accounts. And this is the reason why. A video came across my YouTube channel a few days ago. I'm not going to even link the video down there because it's not worth me linking it down there. But it was an elderly Caucasian couple that was taken advantage by their son. They had a son and a daughter. Mom and dad both had to be hospitalized and go to a nursing home in their maybe late 80s, early 90s. And the son was over their trust account. Now they also had a daughter. She didn't follow up to see what was going on with everything until it was too late. The son had he was a trustee on the account and the power of attorney. He was a power of attorney. He was over all their business. Couldn't find out he stole all their money, $430,000. He sold the home because he was able to sign off on this. He sold everything, and the daughter finally realized after all this they didn't have enough money to send to the nursing home. So she was like, well, what happened to my parents' money? They worked all their lives. They don't have any more money. Where is their money? Son wrote checks, and once you on the account and you are a trustee, you are able, given certain powers to write checks or a power of attorney. You get forward durable power of attorney. You can do whatever you need to do on the account. You can even change the account type. So we're going to get into all the POAs. We'll talk about that down the line. We're going to talk about a lot of things down the line. But what we're going to talk about is these trust accounts, because this could have been preventable if the daughter would have also been a trustee on that account with the son. And that financial advisor should have recommended that. But keep in mind, I'm talking now especially to you older individual, those of you that's been working all your lives and you have these accounts set up and you went out and got you a trust account. I'm talking to you all. Let's talk about these trust accounts in the first segment, and I'm going to pick it back up again in our next segment. So it's going to be a series of things that we're going to talk about. First of all, I want to get out the way. Before we talk about that, I want to get these two things out the way here for you all. Give me a second. Okay. When opening up certain accounts, especially these trust accounts, and you in rural states, the 5 rural states, or you in community properties, you need to know your laws. Make sure you get with your financial advisor and know your laws. Now, my job was to assist with the financial advisors. My job was actually really to do their job. We're being totally honest. I don't have to sit here and lie to you all and tell you something that's not accurate information. Our job was to do their job. We worked on the stock market time. We had to have documents in. They had to have their documents in by a certain time before the stock market closed. So we know all the ins and outs of every document that's required to be on each and every account. A lot of financial advisors, they didn't know that, but they get paid the big money while we sat there and did all the hard, the diligent work, doing the testing, and the trainings was just draining. It would take you, it took me, I would say, over a year or longer to know this job. I say going to 2 years to actually know this job. This wealth management, going into this field is a blessing, but it's a difficult, stressful, very difficult job when you're working with other people and their money. And any wealth management advisors, financial advisors, if you listen to this, you can tag me in down there. And I'm also looking for work. So hit a girl up, my web on LinkedIn. All right, I would be a great asset to your company. Trust me. I will not come in late. I would not leave early, and I would not have unexcused absentees. But let's go ahead and get into our 5 rural states. These are the 5 rural states of New York: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. These states carry certain laws. So you have to make sure you get into those laws with your financial advisor and ask them what are the laws that it carries when it comes to certain wealth management accounts that my husband and I are going to be setting up. Okay, so let's get into your community property states. There are going to be 9 community property states in the United States where assets and debts acquired during a marriage are generally considered to be owned equally by both spouses. And these states are the 9 traditional community property states: Arizona being number 1, California being number 2, Idaho being number 3, Louisiana being number 4, Nevada being number 5, New Mexico is number 6, and also Texas number 7. Yes, Texas is on the list. Washington number 8, Washington on the list as well, and Wisconsin number 9 is on the list. Wisconsin, you would never think Wisconsin would be on the list. Idaho either. And you would never think that New Mexico would be on this list. Now, Texas, Washington, Arizona, California, and not even Arizona, I don't even think that would be on the list. California definitely would have been on the list. These are 9 community property states. When you're setting up a trust account with your husband, make sure you're setting up those trust accounts that's going to require both signatures. Say the husband said, I want to take out $1 million out this trust account. You ain't taking nothing out of that trust account unless your wife gives you permission to do that. She had to sign off on it too. Or if the wife said, I want to take out $1 million, you're not taking out anything out this account until your husband gives you permission to take this money out this account. That's great because they're both on the same page. Now, we do have some trust accounts like that guy did to his parents. Well, he didn't require this stuff, you know. He was over the account, the power of attorney is on the account. But a lot of these trust accounts does not require that they have a power of attorney because that's where your trustee or your successor trustee, if something were to happen to your trustee, will step in and take over the account. Let's go into the trustee's account that we're going to talk about today. I don't want to hold y'all here for a long time. I'll hold you here for a short, sweet time because I'm educating you over the next few months on how to protect your assets. Okay? All right. So, the trust accounts are your joint tenants with rights of survivorship. Basically known as your, let me put on my glasses. Give me a second. Okay, y'all, so let me go ahead and put on my glasses and we're going to go over these trust accounts here. We're not going to go over, like I said, we're going to go over all the accounts at a different time during our segments that we're going to have here. And this is free information I'm giving you all because this information costs, but I'm giving it to you for free. The more you know, the better off you'll be in your financial situation. Okay, so we have these trust accounts. Let's go with the wealth management account type trust. We have your tenant, your joint tenants with rights to survivorship. Write these down, take notes, but I'm also going to put these down in the description box as well, okay? And this account is normally basically known as your JTWROS. Okay, this account functionality. This is when 2 or more owners, if one owner passes away, the surviving owner usually receives the assets. So this account here, because there's so many different joint trust accounts. So if one of the surviving owners passes away, say the spouse passed away, and the wife is on there, they both own, they both have access to the account. So, and post that his account going into his 50% of his going into a trust or going into his estate, that money would go to the spouse. It will pass over to her. That'll clear up a lot of that unnecessary paperwork. Okay, so this will be your joint tenants with rights of survivorship. So keep that in mind. So if you want to skip over all that lead work of having to have your husband's money to go into his estate and then bypassing the estate and you can't get it, so do your joint tenants with rights of survivorship. Now, tenants and comments, write all this down. Your tenants and comments account is still the same. 2 or more owners. So you can have your son, your daughter, and your husband, your wife, your son, and yourself on this account. Whoever. It's more than 2 owners. It's up to you how many you want on here. And that's the tenants and comments. These accounts are 2 or more owners with separate ownership and percentages. So you have to have a separate ownership and percentages. Each person can pass they're shared to the other. So meaning that if your spouse passed away, you can pass yours over to the son, or the son can pass his over to the mom, or whatever. You can pass your ownership over to each other. It's on the account. Yeah, so that one thing I want to mention here that's very, very important. When you set up these trust accounts, the first person on these accounts, say your husband is the first person, he is normally the tax reporting party on the account. You may say, well, no, I set it up, and you have to specify to your financial advisor who's going to be the tax reporting parties on these accounts. And most likely, it's always going to be the first person's name on the account. So that's very important to know as well, okay? Now, let's go into your tenants vitality, known as TBE, I'm sorry, T as in Tom, B as in boy, E as in Edward, okay? That is a joint account type for married couples. In some states, may provide creditor protection depending on state laws. That's what this is. So if you set up that tenant vitality account, this account falls under your state laws. What we were saying, like your community property states, or those 5 rules in New York, those accounts carry certain criteria. So be careful with those accounts. When you're in community property states, make sure you do your due diligence, do your homework, because a lot of people I noticed, when they do wealth management, when they go seek financial advisors, assistance, and the clients I'm talking about, they don't know these things. And a lot of you all fail to ask these questions. You have to ask your financial advisor these questions. It's very important. You question your financial advisor. Don't think they think that you're stupid, because you're not. Because you do not know. What you don't know can potentially hurt you in the future along the way. So it's very important you educate yourself before you set up any type of account with your financial advisor. And if your financial advisor don't know the answer to that question, who he's going to call? He's going to call someone like me, and I was going to give them the answer to the question. Like I said, I'm not by any contract anymore, so I can speak freely, but I don't have to. I'm not speaking against anybody's policy, but I am still liable. I still know that I can't speak derogatory towards my previous company, Morgan Stanley, but I don't have anything derogatory to say about them. It's a great company. It's a great company. Okay, will I go back? Yeah. But I don't want to work with financial advisors anymore. I want to work with clients. After seeing what I seen the other day on television, I want to be the forefront of the business. I want to work with clients, not the financial advisors. When they call in and we have to do their job, I want to work with clients. Okay, and our next, I'm just keeping it real, girl. And our next account, this transfer on debt. This transfer on debt, if you put this on one of your accounts, you have to make sure you always keep this up to date. Now, this transfer on debt is for a taxable account with names of beneficiaries. Assets can be passed directly to beneficiaries after the death. Now, it can be passed to your beneficiary. That's what we're going to talk about now. That's a transfer on debt, which is known as the TOD. Tom, other, and dated. TOD, okay? Take a note of this. This is very important as well. When you set this up on your accounts, this is not a separate account itself. It can be set up on these trust accounts, but you can add a transfer on debt to these accounts. That's another document that your financial advisor will give you. You will list all your beneficiaries on this form. But a lot of you all, and I've noticed this, when they were called in, but the financial advisor would call in, a lot of you all clients fail to update your beneficiaries. And that's what I wanted to tell you all. When I said stick around, I want to share this information with you all. We're going to share it right here in the middle of the video. A lot of you put these TODs on your account, which we call a transfer on debt, but you refuse, you inadvertently forget. Say you have beneficiaries on there, and you don't want, say you got Peter on there. Peter did something to you that piss you off, and Peter would no longer get anything from you. You don't want Peter to have anything or any of your money, because Peter doesn't deserve your money. But you never updated your transfer on debt to get Peter off your account, right? Or something happened to you. Things happen. A lot of financial advisors will call in and give a scenario, like, because the client will ask that question. What happened if we go on an airplane ride? My wife and I both passed away there. What happened to our assets? And those are questions to ask. You have to ask those questions. You're not wishing any harm on yourself or any ill intentions on yourself. You just wanting to know what would happen, because these things do happen. Life happens. Things happen. None of us is promised tomorrow. That's why I want you all to know it's so important you update and keep your beneficiaries on your account up to date, and that will fall under your transfer on down. Okay, I've seen a lot of times what a financial advisor would call in and be like, well, he don't want them to have that money, but he's gone now. There's nothing we can do. They never updated the transfer on down, and now it's too late. We can't hold back any money without getting a potential lawsuit, right? So Peter would get it all because Peter was never supposed to get it, because the client never wanted Peter to have it, but the client somehow gotten so busy where they inadvertently failed to update their transfer on down. Now, beneficiaries would have to be broken down to 100%. If you have 3, you can have as many beneficiaries as you want on there. You can have, I've seen sometimes 10 and 15 beneficiaries getting 2%, 3%. You get however percentage you want them to get. But you have to make sure at the end of the day it equals 100%. Not 99%, 100%. So, for instance, for example, you have 3 kids. 2 of your kids will get 33% and 1 will get 34%. Now, whoever gets the 34%, that's up to you. Now, your kids might be fine and say you love Billy more than you love Joe, or I know Daddy, you not know Mama, you love Susan more than you love Bob. No. It's just that they have to equal 100%. So no one is more favorable loved by their parents. It's just that how the wealth management, you have to break it down. Okay? So that is so important. And that's why I want to spend so much time on this as well. And also, going through a transfer on death will also help you to bypass that estate. You don't have to do an estate. The transfer step, as I stated, will directly be paid out to those beneficiaries, bypassing that. They will set up their own individual account for them, and they will pay them out. So, say for instance, not Susan or Joe, Bob, whatever, your financial advisor will just set up an account in your name, and they will pay you out. Or you can give them a letter of authorization to create a AAA account, which is an individual account in your name, and you can have your funds transfer there. You can have your funds transfer out to any type of banking institution. That's up to you. Overseas, international, whatever. I know Morgan Stanley, a lot of wealth management companies do have their own international department, so your financial advisor can always follow with them as well, or you can as well. I know in our department, we were not able to talk to clients because we didn't work with clients. Our job was to support the financial advisors, the presidents of the company, give them the information that they needed to get their job done properly in a timely manner, to have those documents submitted and have those documents unfiled and have them all up to date before the end of the stock market, before the stock market closed. Our job was very stressful, okay? So that's the TOD. We can spend all day on the TOD because the TOD holds so many different type of criteria and not like these trust accounts. But I'm going to link it all down in the description box what we went over today. And feel free, if you ever have any other questions or anything like that, my email is down there, or leave me a comment and ask me the question in the comment. I'm more than welcome to give y'all free information. Of course, because girl, people tend to judge a book by its cover. Never underestimate me. I'm 40 and highly qualified and educated. Never judge me by a book by my cover. But I'm more than lifestyle, fashion, and beauty. I'm also educated, well educated. Putting 3 kids through college, you ain't gonna be a dummy and do all that. You got to have some smart somewhere. So, in our other account, our final account in this workflow here is gonna be our payable on death. It's often used for bank cash accounts, funds passed to named beneficiary after death. That's all it is. That's basically what it is. It really just follow up, go hand in hand basically with that transfer on death. It's just the account that they set up, which is the paid account to death. They paying out the beneficiary, they getting their money. Y'all all happy, y'all got your money, and now you can go about your life and decide to do whatever you want to do with your money. But I'll just say, you can invest it back into another account with that wealth management company, or you can take your money and say, have it sent out to my personal Huntington account, Chase account, Bank of America, whatever you want to do. It's your money. But it's so important that you all update those beneficiaries tomorrow morning, okay? A lot of you all get these accounts through your bank, your job institution. I know a lot of jobs give out those 401ks. They give out like wealth management company. They give you an option to have those retirement accounts, RA accounts, and you can set it up with your beneficiary. I had all 3 of my kids on my account and my husband, so I broke it down in a certain percentage for all of them. But it did equal 100%. That's one thing about not having a job or not working. We don't have those luxury opportunities to have the 401ks, to have these benefits, to have these dental insurance, medical insurance, all of this. Well, a lot of us, we're knowledgeable. A lot of us has been laid off, but we're still, and the reason why I'm sharing my information with you all, because I don't want to forget this. I want to go back into the wealth management field. I do want to go back there, but I want to be the front face of the business. I want to work with the clients because I refuse to let us see anyone, any elderly couple or anyone get taken advantage of in their older years when they can no longer fend for themselves and they trust their kids to take care of their financial responsibility, but they're robbing them blind. If the daughter would have been on that account, this would have never happened. But the daughter was not a trustee on the account. And the power of attorney on these accounts, let me tell you all, if you have a power of attorney, some of these accounts don't have a power of attorney, but we will go into that later. But keep in mind, power of attorneys will fall off of these individuals or fall off any of these accounts once the person on the account, the owner had passed away. The power of attorney is deleted immediately. And some of these accounts are allowed for power of attorneys. A lot of these are not because they have trust on the account already. And the trustees and the trust and the successor trustees, they're the ones that would step in and take responsibility over the account if something were to happen to the grantors on the account. Now, the grantors are on the account, and then they have trustees that would run the account, or successor trustees that would take over if the trustees decide they want to step down, no longer want to be a trustee anymore, and that do happen. And that's why they have successor trustees to step in and take their places if something were to happen to the grantor, the trustees that no longer want to carry out that functional role they was given. A lot of trustees do get burned out and they say, hey, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So make sure you set up a successor trustees on this account. And then once the grantor, like I say, passed away, once the grantor passed away the account, the trustees will step in and they will work out whatever is in that last will and testament, however they set that up with the PADAC agreements and things like that. That will follow the final wishes and carry out the final wishes of the grantors on the account. Now, if one grantor passed away and it was under his social security number, and say the husband passed away, it was under his social security number, but the wife is also a grantor on this account, they will have to open up a new account for the wife because she had to establish it under her tax identification number, EIN number, or her social for tax reporting purposes. Now, say the wife passes away and the husband is still alive, but he is the tax grantor on the account, already reporting on his social. All they would do is drop her off the account and make that account an individual account in his name only. So there's less paperwork as well. So hopefully that helps you all out with that, and then we're gonna still touch base on this later on as well in our segments, whatever we didn't touch base on here. But I think I covered everything when it comes to the trust accounts. I gave you all the 5 rural states in New York. I gave you all the 9 community property states. I gave you all the trusts that they have for this, which is only 1, 2, 3, 4 trusts, there. And also the trusts, once the grantor passed away, their trust will become irrevocable. Long as the grantor is alive, it will always remain a revocable trust, which means the life of the grantor. Once the grantor passed away, that trust will become irrevocable. Okay? Y'all know that, Sweet Tea? I know you was that damn smart. Sweet Tea wears a lot of hats in this neighborhood. I told you all that. Sweet Tea, I'm going to put y'all on to so much knowledge and so much power. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God. I'm gonna tell y'all the ins and outs about how to get these people off y'all phones when it comes to certain collections activities and things like that, and they'll threaten you all, and you all scared to answer your phones and you want to go bankrupt. I know the ins and outs of all of this. But first we're gonna cover our wealth management sessions here, and then we're gonna go into my other financial experience, when it comes to debt. And it comes to debt collector and all that, and you've been harassed and being a victim of your own environment in your home. Oh, you can get them off your phone, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do that. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become part of the neighborhood. I love to have you all here, and our segments here are just to educate and empower, because the more you know, the more you grow. Okay, and let me put my glasses back on because I can't see a damn thing. Okay, and so the next one we're gonna go over when we do come back and re-intervene. We're going to go over the individual account, which is only one, which is that's your AAA, which they have the AAA, and they have the AAA business. So those are 2 different accounts. AAA business requires your PADAC, so AAA does not. So we go over all of that. And also we're going to go over the retirement accounts as well. Retirement accounts are so important. We're going to speak about that as well. That's going to be in our next segment when I come back on here again. I'm going to do a video twice a month. This video came out today. So I'm going to let you all mark your calendar and let you all know when the next video is going to come out. Because there's a lot to learn, and then there's a lot for you all to know, and you all grow. The more you know, like I said, the more you grow, and you can protect your financial assets in your older years. Today's the 17th. I see you all again on the 31st. And look out for those shorts because they will be coming out each and every day. And follow me across all my social media platforms. They are linked down in the description box as well. And if you're here for the first time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to thumbs up the video so YouTube can push out the video, because I think these segments are going to be so helpful for everyone to see, especially those that's getting up there in age and getting ready to retire, getting ready to get your 401k and all this. You need to make sure that people are going to do right by you and your money in case you have to go to nursing home. And also, the sad part about all this, the parents passed away, 95 years old, 1 month after each other. First the husband, then the wife. That son should feel terrible as hell what he did to his parents, because he's gonna burn in hell. And I don't want to see anyone else get taken advantage like this by anyone, especially their own kids that they brought into this world. They're supposed to do right by them, but he decided to go and turn the other way and do them parents of his so bad. They left this world with nothing, and they worked hard for all they had here. The daughter said they worked all their lives, and the son took it all and even sold the house. And they left here penniless, no money. They didn't even pay the nursing home, but they passed away. And that was another burden that the daughter had to get up off of her. It's sad. Subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to give y'all all the ins and outs. And I want to make sure this never happens to anyone else again. Not in this life. Not in this life. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll see y'all in the next video on the 31st. Take care, neighbors. Bye.